So we woke up to some bad news this morning. At least I know I did. I guess technically you did too. I guess to the degree that people care, right? But Takeoff got killed, from the Migos, which was crazy because out of all the Migos in the group, obviously you don't want anybody to die or get shot and killed. But Takeoff is the more low key guy of the group, and he seemed to have gotten hit by a stray bullet. So I guess he wasn't even really in the mix. Just at the wrong place, wrong time, wrong situation. But it, for me personally, it's a little hard for me to like really, really feel bad. I know that sounds bogus, but the thing for me is that like when I see stuff like this, I kind of don't feel anything anymore because I know nothing's going to change, right? N-
Right.
Not nothing's gonna change. Like I remember when XXX Tentacion got killed, right? Years ago now. I think 2017, something like that.
Something like that.
And that was back when I used to do actual hip hop videos, like kind of on some DJ academic-ish type stuff on the main channel. Um his death actually played a role, his murder played a role in why I stopped doing that kind of content. Felt like I was contributing to like foolishness and nonsense. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, but I remember, he got killed. Very somber moment in hip hop. Everybody's sad. Everybody's mourning. You hear oh man, this is messed up. Things got to change in the culture. Da 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 da. And then like I remember very clearly within like 24 hours, it was just everybody was just right back to the foolishness. You know what I mean? Like with the typical YouTube posts about nonsense and dumb stuff. And now you fast forward. What was it, 2019? I think when Nipsey got killed. And
Yep.
when Nipsey got killed, like that was even a more somber, like just oh my god moment. Because like when you talk about hip hop and rappers and stuff like that, um, honestly, Nipsey was the best of them. You know what I mean? He was truly the best of them. He literally did everything that black folks could ever want from like a celebrity. You know what I mean? He didn't leave the hood. He stayed there, built businesses, was going to expand on the business, build the affordable housing above the plaza that he owned on Crenshaw and Slauson. He had a school that he was getting ready to open. He already had like a WeWorks kind of center, like in the bill, like they own the building already, right? So like I think on the bottom, the place was called Vector 90. I think it's still around. I hope it is, but it's called Vector 90. It was kind of a WeWork area, but where people from South Central, you can't afford to go to WeWorks. WeWorks is God knows how much money an hour, to go there. But at Vector 90, you come with your ID, you show that, I live here in South Central. You can get you a desk, in this nice facility for like $10 an hour, something
Right.
dumb cheap, you know? And then on top of that, they were going to build the STEM school for the kids in South Central called Too Big to Fail. So I say all that to, give him his roses, but he was the best of them. He was the best of us. That comes from that kind of situation. Uh, he was killed. That was a really sad moment. Everybody was like kind of down and out about it for the most part. It really messed up hip hop for a little bit. Oh, I remember within like 24 hours, man, maybe 48 hours. It might have been an extra day longer than XXXTentacion. Everybody was right back to the nonsense. I'm talking about other like LA rappers that I used to follow. I'm not going to say no names, but it Nipsey got killed. And what you tend to see is that situations like this, people don't look at it and say, man, we got to change. Let's change. I'm going to be different now. Let's be different. They actually double down on stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They double down on ignorance. Like
Yep.
Nipsey got killed, and then it turned into, yeah, Nipsey got killed. That's why I gotta grab my Glock. And it's like, bro, no, that's not what the answer was supposed to be. Like, that's the wrong answer. Like, Nipsey got killed. That's why you were supposed to like put the Glock down, put your flag down, get out of this
Right.
situation, go do something better with your life. But no, like niggas double down on stupid. So,
Right.
so at the end of the day, when it comes to bringing it back to Takeoff, it's horrible, right? I don't want to make it seem like I don't care, right? Because it's bogus. You know what I mean? Like I saw the news and I couldn't believe it. And I was in shock, and I feel bad for him, his family, his whole situation there. But it's like y'all not gonna change, man. You're not gonna change. People are gonna pretend like, oh, we gotta. This stuff has to stop, and I can't believe it. And yeah, okay, and there's going to be somebody else next week. You know what I mean? And nobody's going to change. So
Right.
it's kind of hard to kind of just feel any type of like deep kind of sadness over it. It's just like, all right, well, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to play in that realm of of ignorance, you know, and not remove yourself from that kind of degenerate aspect of our culture, you know, and every racial group has a degenerate aspect of their culture. So I don't want to just put that on black folks like this is our culture in totality, like a lot of people try to do. This is not our culture in its totality, but it's a segment of it, a degenerate aspect of it. If you don't want to remove yourself from there, you still want to stay in the mix of that, then, you know, I don't know, these are the kind of things that happen. And I'll say this one last thing and I'll pass it over to you. uh where was Offset in this scenario? And I asked that because, you know, for those of you who know, obviously, if you're hip hop fans, and you clicked on this video and you watched this long, the Migos broke up, right? They fell out with Offset, and they had whatever their issues is, kind of NWA situation, I guess you can say. When Ice Cube left, same situation. Offset left. So where was Ice Cube? I mean, where was Offset when all this was going down? With his wife and kids, celebrating Halloween with his family, not in the mix of foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You remove yourself from being in the mix of foolishness and certain degenerate behavior. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. You just with your wife and kids celebrating Halloween. But when you want to be out with your ninjas doing ninja stuff, well,
You're gonna be
you know,
ducking ninja stars.
yeah, now you ducking ninja stars. And you know, and unfortunately for Takeoff, he didn't even see it coming. Apparently, you know, like I said, he got hit with a stray, just kind of standing up, you know. So I don't know, man. But you know, at the end of the day, y'all not gonna change. And that's the real sad part. That's the real sad part. The real sad part is not Takeoff getting killed, because that is sad. But the real sad part is y'all not gonna change.
It's just a matter of time. It's just a countdown now until when the next thing like this happens.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's just who will be next and when will somebody be next. And the question is like, where's the accountability for any of this kind of stuff when it comes to like dealing with this or any kind of changes that people need to make? It's always just a lot of lip service and not really a lot of action. You got to ask yourself the question, like, what's the difference now between being a rapper and actually being in the street? What's the difference? Because everybody's getting shot, everybody's getting killed. And if there's no hard line between being a rapper and being in the street, the only thing that's different about being a rapper is that now you paying a little bit of your royalty money to them people that Kanye got an issue with, instead of just actually doing your thing on your own. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the street and you're doing your crime and your criminal activities on your own and you trapping, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not giving your, 30% of your proceeds to, Jeffrey Rosenblum. You know what I'm saying? You're putting it in your own pocket, or you're paying your crew. So like, my thing is like, where's the actual accountability for any of this? I don't see any. In my opinion, one of the reasons why I got away from hip hop is because basically, like, hip hop is becoming the metaverse for the streets, as you can see with these people just, killing themselves and doing all of this degeneracy. And the third thing is, I thought the reason why people became rappers, or the reason why people get into this kind of artistic, career path, is to express their lifestyle and not to continue to live the lifestyle. But it seems like the people are still living the lifestyle. And my thing is, where's the hard line accountability for any of this? Another question that I want to ask is, why is it that you only see rappers engaged in this kind of activity and getting shot and killed all the time? You don't hear, people like Justin Timberlake. You don't hear people like Britney Spears getting killed. You don't hear country singers getting killed. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear techno DJs and house DJs getting killed. When it comes to this particular genre or any of music or anything like that, that's all you hear is these people getting killed. So that's my question, is to like, why that's like that. And I wonder if it has anything to do with like continuation of payments. The people that own the rap companies, they own those other forms of music as well. You know what I'm saying? Atlantic, you know, they release country albums, they release pop albums. Same with Universal. Why is it that when it comes to rap or sometimes even R&B, something always happens involving either getting their life taken or there's some kind of legal agenda to get at those people? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's a question that people need to start asking.
And it's another thing too, like even within when you're talking about hip hop, it's really a particular segment of it, because you got to look at it like, how come this stuff, just carrying on with the questions, how come you never see this kind of stuff happen to Kendrick Lamar or J.
Right.
Cole or Big Crit, even whatever, J Electronica, right?
Well, see, and now
Drake, like this stuff doesn't happen to them,
those,
why is that though? You get what I'm saying?
those particular genre, the record label executives and their cousins are trying to say that those kind of people are anti-Semitic, that they attacking Kendrick Lamar now, talking about he's anti-Semitic. So what you like, that's the whole thing that they do in rap, and that's one of the reasons why the Jeffrey Rosenblums and those different kind of people don't want rappers giving a positive message. They only want them giving a negative and anti-black message. But the problem is that the people who are rappers, it's their responsibility to evolve. Jeffrey Rosenblum is always going to want to suck every penny down like a vacuum cleaner. You know what I'm saying? That's just what those kind of people do. Okay, it's your responsibility. If that's something that you want to do, you need to insulate yourself from that and shield yourself from that and be able to make it where you can maximize your profits and minimize a person like a Jeffrey Rosenblum's influence on your business. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of what we're seeing too is a failure to evolve, which we see failures to evolve in a lot of situations where we ask ourselves, why does this look like life on a repeat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if anything, we're regressing, because I
Yeah.
don't, I can't think of any other time, throughout because I've only recently kind of stopped listening to hip hop within like over like the last maybe 2 years, where I just kind of fell off of it. Like I just don't follow it anymore. You hear little things here and there, to a degree, but like I don't follow it too much. But like growing up, you know, outside of Tupac and Biggie, the only other person that I can remember getting killed was I think Big L.
Big
You know what
L.
I'm saying? Like I think
Yeah.
Big L. Outside of that, you just didn't see it. You didn't see this stuff like happening like regularly on multiple times in a year.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Notable, not up and coming guys that you never heard of.
Right.
Talking about notable rappers.
Yeah.
Even to the degree that PNB Rock had fell off, he was still notable. Like he was on at one point. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't some nobody that nobody ever heard of, if you're going back to him. So it's like, we've never seen this before. So that tells you we're actually going backwards. Hip hop is actually moving backwards.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, And even, kind of, you keep talking about the Rosenblums and stuff like that. You know how, our thing here, that was coined by you is the world correct? You got to start asking the question, is Kanye correct?
Right.
Concerning the Rosenblums,
Right.
concerning the fact, how many times in multiple interviews has he said, you go to Apple Music right now and look at their top 10 list,
Yeah.
and all top 10 is going to be songs of other black men talking about, I effed your girl, or it's going to be music about black serial killing. You know what I'm saying? And that's put like right there for you. There you go. Here it is there for your consumption. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like you always say, is the world correct? In this situation, you got to ask, is Kanye correct?
Yeah.
And and if he is correct on that, like you were saying, the responsibility once you understand that Kanye is correct in this particular situation, now the responsibility is on you as the artist. So when do you evolve? When do you change? And if you don't change, and if you don't evolve, well, I guess things pan out how they pan out.
Yeah, you live life on repeat, like what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? That's the question like people ask, well, what if this doesn't change? Or what if that doesn't change? right now, you know what I'm saying, November 1st, 2:29 p.m. Eastern time, everything that's happened up until right now is the results of what happens if things don't change. And what you can see is that it's getting progressively worse. And instead of making any changes, people just continue to ask, well, what if we don't change? I mean, you're consistently living in the moment of the results of what if there's no change. But it's just like that's not enough to get people to wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and not only are the consequences on repeat, but like they're on hyperloop. It's just more
Hmm.
and more frequent now. It's just
Hmm.
boom, 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 boom. It's just a matter of when. And that next month or maybe 2 months, 3 months tops. But I even think that's too much time. I might be giving too much time at 3 months. It's
Yeah.
really about 2 months. Give it about 2 months tops. Really, there'll be another one. Unfortunately, you
Yep.
know, unfortunately, but like we're saying, if we're unwilling to change, unwilling to evolve, hey man, it kind of is what it is.
Right. Sad.